A Sunday afternoon of exhibition baseball, spring training in Viera. Cardinals won 100 games last year, won the Central. Harper and the Nats hoping to do that in the East. And the Nationals with Bryce Harper and a whole lot of the other regulars in the lineup today. Bob and FP, good to be with you for our second spring telecast. And Ryan Zimmerman debuts as a DH. Great to see him get some ABs.
Yeah, he's in there today. We're glad to see him. And the lineup, Dusty Baker's feature. Left, right. Tough lineup. Might be the opening day lineup, so we're excited to see this game today.
And, of course, Dusty made a great comment this morning when somebody asked him, might Max Scherzer be the opening day starter? He said he was the opening day guy before I got here.
Yeah, absolutely. Last time we saw Max, all he did was strike out 17 bats and throw a no-hitter. So we're excited to see him pitch today. You look at the wins since 2011. Doesn't really tell the story. 14-12 last year. Could have won 20 games with a little bit of luck. But a 30% strikeout rate last year, the highest of his career.
Great to see all the guys in the lineup today for Dusty. The Nats have a good record. They're 8-3 down here. Why not get into the winning habit early? Murphy, of course, one of the new Nats. Rendon, hopefully healthy all year. And here comes Zimmerman, part of a good lineup. Straight ahead.
Legend.
And a ball hit deep to left. Taylor going back. And Max Scherzer has a no-hitter. Broken bat pop-up on the infield. Max Scherzer has done it again. Dusty Baker was mentioning Max Scherzer in the same sentences as Sandy Koufax this morning, talking about guys who expect to go out and never give up that next hit or never give up that next run. And Scherzer's that kind of guy.
He's 2 hitters away from 2 perfect games in the same season. He hit Tabata and then an error by Yunel Escobar, or he would have had 2 perfect games last year. And the last time we saw him hit, he struck out 17. Or saw him pitch, excuse me.
Yeah, Brandon Moss, longtime American leaguer. One of the semi-regulars here for St. Louis. He's having a good spring, 7 hits, 5 RBIs. And the other is their starting second baseman, who's the leadoff guy, Colton Wong, an outstanding young combination of speed and power. And here's Scherzer. Last year, the 14-12 record, 105 big league wins, 31-year-old right-hander, and here he comes. 3rd time out this spring. We're underway. Right on time at 105 with a strike. Wong 4 for 17. 92 with movement away.
I thought the most amazing stat for Max Scherzer last year was 276 strikeouts and 34 walks. He had one more walk than starts last year.
That's impressive. And he goes with the hard breaking ball for the strikeout on an 80-degree breezy afternoon here at Space Coast Stadium.
I mean, he's picking up right where he left off the last time you and I saw him. I know he's pitched down here already, but 17 Mets struck out. I remember there was a string of, what, 8 or 9 in a row that game? So yeah. This is how it starts on Masson again for Max Scherzer with a strikeout. Should I drop the same seats everyone already? I mean, this guy's... It's pretty good, Bob.
I don't know. I think
he's got a bright future.
If he's got a no-no after 4, I think they're going to take him out.
Yeah.
I mean, they took out Bronson Arroyo the other day.
Yeah, he was perfect.
So, here's Aledmys Diaz, one of St. Louis's bright young prospects. Blank shortstop. And, of course, they've got a shortstop situation. And that's a breaking ball that gets him in the back. Just kind of backed up right into the hitter. Johnny Peralta, their shortstop, is hurt, out for up to 2 months. So mostly partly, I guess partly cloudy skies, you would call it. We'll call it 83 right now. And not exactly the hurricane force winds we've had here, it seems, for the last 3 or 4 days. Relatively calm, gentle breeze blowing in from center, so the ballpark will still play rather large. Next up is Brandon Moss. Lively left-handed bat St. Louis picked up last year. He hit .217 at Cleveland with 15 homers, 50 RBIs. Then they brought him over for 51 games, and he hit .250 down the stretch for St. Louis. Their first baseman, Matt Adams, was hurt a lot last year, so this guy, you make a mistake, he'll hit it out of any ballpark in the big leagues.
Oh, if you're Max Scherzer, spring training's just about locking in your pitches, working on things. I don't think you're real concerned about results at this point, just how the ball's coming out of your hand, getting in sync with Wilson Ramos back there. He was coming off that LASIK surgery, supposedly seeing everything a lot better.
No.
Set the defense for the Nats right now behind Max Scherzer. Check it out, folks. This could be your opening day lineup, maybe with Ryan Zimmerman at first base, but Worth, Revere, Harper, your outfield, Espinosa, Rendon, left side, Murphy, Robinson, right side, and Wilson Ramos behind the plate.
And Ryan is DHing today, so that'll be great when the Nats play the the AL Central this year. I'm sure Ryan will get some breathers, and they just don't want to do anything at all to irritate the plantar fasciitis, which is being handled pretty well right now. And Ryan's the kind of guy, you give him 45 or 50 at-bats down here, he'll be ready. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Brandon Moss. 1 on, 1 out. Nats in a ranked pull position, not a shift really. The shortstop, Espinosa, up the middle. Down and in with a hard-breaking ball. Scherzer, strikeout number 2.
Almost had some cutter action to this. It was a slider at 86, but very subtle, right underneath the hands of Brandon Moss. Put that pitch right where he wanted to, and you look at the strikeouts per 9 leaders since 2011. Steven Strasburg on top, Max Scherzer number 3.
Yeah, just a little bit of fun to have 2 of those on the same staff. Next up is outfielder Tommy Pham. There's the heater. Actually took a little bit off, kind of a BP fastball at 88. Had good movement, though. Boy, he's got that cutter slider going early. And to me, it looks like it's breaking very late, and as you said, very subtle.
Cambio.
Bounces into the mitt of Wilson Ramos.
It's got perfect game going except for a hit by pitch. Too soon?
Always within 1 hitter of being perfect. Always. What a good debut. And Waka next for St. Louis. So first it was Colton Wong, Brandon Moss, and then Tommy Pham got Pham going.
There's a lot to see.
Between innings, guys having a ball game of their. This is the game within the game, as FP says. Here at spring training. Here come the Nats. Look at this lineup. So it's Revere, center, Worth, and then Harper. So the outfield 1, 2, 3. Ryan Zimmerman's first game. Then Murphy, Rendon, Robinson. Wilson Ramos has only played one game, a couple of at-bats, and Jason 1 for 9 with an RBI. 24-year-old Michael Wacha. Talk about a guy who's been oh so close. He's never pitched a complete game in the big leagues or a shutout. But a Ryan Zimmerman infield hit kept him from a no-hitter against the Nats in St. Louis a couple of years ago.
Yeah, rough 2014, had some shoulder issues. 2015 bounced back strong. Velocity was up. Fastball averaged 94 miles an hour. You saw he won 17 games.
Ben Revere, couple of doubles, a homer, 7 hits. His numbers last year. Ben, of course, sent from the Phillies. And there's what he's doing in spring training. Went to Toronto in a 3-player deal, July 31st. Hit .319 for the Blue Jays after .298 for the Phils. Puts the bat on the ball. 2-2 pitch. Wacha's a strikeout guy. And when you're facing pitchers like this, it's great to have a Ben Revere in the lineup who can make him work a little for that first out.
Yeah, Wacha worked out with Shelby Miller in Texas this offseason and was toying with a cutter. He's implemented so far in spring training. You remember, he's just pretty much a fastball changeup guy. He has a curveball, doesn't throw it very much, but one of the better changes in the National League. And I think you add that cutter to your arsenal. Now you have left-handed hitters at least looking for something that's coming into him where the changeup goes down the way of the lefty. So, good luck.
Derek Lilliquist, St. Louis pitching coach.
How more formidable with the cutter borne down on lefties.
Well hit left center. That is a typical Ben Revere at bat. He's now 8 for 14 down here. And aboard to lead off the game.
Beautiful swing by Ben Revere. I mean, you talk about locked in. He's got so much going on, and you would think for a guy that drops his hand, strides that big, kind of jumps toward the pitcher, it would take him a little bit of time to lock in down here in Florida, but he's absolutely locked, and there goes the no-hitter Ben Revere style for the second broadcast in a row.
Yeah, he's 1 for 2 stealing bases. The Nats are 17 out of 18. And Worth gets serious wood on that one. Heading for the gap in right center. Cut off by Sierra. That's the only thing that'll stop Revere at third. And the Nats are at the corners to start the game. Great sound.
Great sound, great swing. You see where Jason Worth's hands are? They're higher this year. His shoulder's healthy. He's able to pound down on the baseball, create some backspin. And with Ben Revere hitting in front of you, you're going to get a lot of fastballs if you're hitting second for the Nationals this year because of Revere's speed. Jason Worth taking advantage. Maybe trying to hit behind the runner. Kept his hands inside the ball. And Bob Henley has all the sunscreen on. Did you see that? He left none for anybody else. Either that or he's feeling queasy, one or the other.
Bob Sunley.
He's a zombie third base coach.
Yeah, we've seen this look before. Bryce has 3 hits and RBI in the spring, 3 for 13 overall. Coming off an amazing MVP season, youngest ever unanimous most valuable player. Waka on the straight change in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I mean, every sports talk radio show in America could thank Bryce Harper for his comments in ESPN the magazine, because they had something to talk about all week long. And every sports talk host, who I'm not going to name names, but there was a lot of people that maybe have never talked to Bryce Harper or seen him play very much, making some very bold comments. I love what he said.
High bouncer, base hit. Nats lead 1-0. Worth to third. Harper digging for 2. The throw from Sierra. No, sir. And it's 3 consecutive hits to start the game. Bryce with his 4th hit in Vieira and his 2nd run batted in.
Bryce going to get to Nats Park and tell the grounds crew, John Turnauer, can you make that dirt in front of home plate a little bit harder? Because you see where the ball hit right in front of home, and the thing just AstroTurf bounces over Brandon Moss's head at first base. And typical Bryce Harper hustling into second base. Sans helmet. And the Nats up 1-0 with the RBI double off the bat of Bryce Harper.
Well, every year we say Ryan Zimmerman steps out of his car and hits a double somewhere. He stepped out of his car several weeks ago. Finally gets some game competition. He was up there geared up to swing, but he got a first pitch breaking ball from Michael Waka.
Nats are hacking.
Just 95 games last year. The production was enormous for that amount of time, with 73 runs batted in. That's a wild pitch. Way out in front of home plate. And the catcher, Carson Kelly, had no chance. That thing bounced over his shoulder. 2-0 Nats.
Well, we just talked about the dirt in front of home plate being hard on the double off the bat of Bryce Harper, but what about the curveball from Michael Waka that he just hung on to way too long? Maybe tried to overthrow it, but it hit that hard dirt in front of home, bounced to the screen. 2-0 Nats. Hit right about where Bryce Harper's double hit, same spot.
St. Louis pulls its infield in. Target inside from Carson Kelly. Zimmerman places it perfectly. Okay, he steps out of his car and gets an RBI hit. Why not? 3-0 Washington.
I mean, a lot of that base hit right there goes to Bryce Harper hustling to second base for the double. He advances to third on the wild pitch, so now Mike Matheny brings his infield in. What's that do? It creates a hole for Ryan Zimmerman. That ball's not getting through if the Cardinals infield is back. But since Harper hustled into second base with the double and the wild pitch to third, gets Ryan Zimmerman a base hit.
Now Daniel Murphy.
I like this lineup, said Captain Obvious. This is a really good lineup that Dusty put together today. They haven't made it out all year.
Let's hope it's on the field a whole lot more than last year's projected lineup.
Oh, that guy's hitting 6th? What?
That ball's ripped. But the Cards will turn it into 2 on a 4-6-3. With the first 2 outs of Michael Waka's day.
So the defense for the Cardinals behind Michael Waka. Hazel Baker, Pham, Sierra the outfield. Diaz Wilson left side. Wong Moss right side. And Kelly behind the plate. Mike Matheny, the skipper for the Cardinals, coming off a fantastic year once again.
Yeah, Mike Matheny, now an author. I know that FP often addresses young coaches out there for different finer points of the game. Matheny co-wrote a book called the Matheny Manifesto. It's about coaching youth baseball and other sports, really. You could apply it. I happened to read it a couple of months ago, and I would recommend it for any coach who's involved in youth sports, not just baseball, softball and others. It's got a lot of lessons, and it's to be honest with you, it's got a lot of things in there the parents are not going to want to hear.
Yeah, it's about really screaming loud at your kids all the time and yelling at them all the way home in the car and tell them how bad they are.
Up the middle, Waka slows it down. Rendon trying to beat it out, and he does. Colton Wong thought he had an out at first. So the Nats now have 5 hits in the first 6 batters.
Anthony Rendon's problems last year started here in Vieira, and it was all lower half stuff until the oblique thing. But let's watch him run to first base. Do you remember in 2014, he used to say sneaky fast all the time? This is a guy that can steal 20 bases at this level if he wants to. Dusty Baker's probably going to give him a chance, but that knocks the glove right off of Michael Waka, and you see Rendon healthy, hustling to first, and that's a great sight for Dusty Baker and Nats fans.
Robinson watches a pitch that skips in the dirt.
Now, Michael Waka last year for the Cardinals averaged 16.2 pitches per innings. That was the 4th highest in the Cardinals rotation. He's right there today already.
Clint has 3 hits this spring, 2 home runs. And that ball popped up just behind second for Aledmys Diaz. What an inning for the Nats. Scherzer strikes out the side. Then his teammates go get him 3 runs on 5 hits.
Gio Gonzalez would have longer hair than Bronson Arroyo. 3-0 Nats as we head to the top of the 2nd inning. Check out Max Scherzer's 2 no-hitters last season, 215 total pitches, 27 strikeouts, no walks, a hit batter and an error away from 2 perfect games in the same season. The last one against the Mets is the best game I've ever seen pitched, period.
Unbelievably, with that strikeout domination. This is Jeremy Hazelbaker in left field for St. Louis. 4 for 16 with an RBI. One of the things that hasn't been talked about a whole lot that we're looking forward to for next spring when the Nats are down in West Palm with the Astros. 20 minutes from the Cardinals and the Marlins and about 45 minutes from the Mets will be the fact that you'll see a whole lot more of the regular players in lineups even when they're coming to our ballpark because it's such a short trip. You know, I don't blame any veterans who've been around for a long time for not making almost a 2.5-hour round trip from Jupiter up here or from other points around Florida. But that situation is going to improve next year with travel and 5 teams within 45 minutes of each other.
Went down to Palm Beach yesterday on the off day. They could put the new stadium in Mar-a-Lago, Trump's place. I mean, they could put it right in that piece of property. That's how big that is.
Well, you know, now you're going to have to talk about Ted Cruz's place and Marco Rubio's place to balance this out.
No.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Hazelbaker.
This is an escape from all that.
No kidding. Can we start campaigns a year before the election next time? Maybe 8 months?
The best shirt I've seen, it says, "I vote for nobody."
And probably not alone.
I'm voting for nobody.
Max Scherzer, 13 pitches, 10 strikes, first inning. And at 2-2, there's another high bouncer. That's going to go zooming by Danny Espinosa. This infield's playing like one in Washington or St. Louis in the middle of August.
Well, that right there, you just saw something that didn't happen in 2 of Max Scherzer's starts last year, and that's a base hit. Remember June 20th, Jose Tabata kind of leaning into that backup slider from Max Scherzer. Max Scherzer said, "I should have made a better pitch afterwards." And I think Max Scherzer said that, Escobar should have made a better throw afterwards, but no, he didn't. He did not. He went on to strike out 17 Mets. But those 2 plays right there, Austin Scherzer, a perfect game. And the Tabata thing was with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th, or the top of the 9th.
Yeah.
And it was just the most bizarre no-hitter you've ever seen, because you and I mean, you gave it a great call, but I don't think I've ever been mad to see a no-hitter, if that makes any sense.
No. I think everybody knows what you're talking about. Perfect game, so rare. And ironically, it turned out to be one of the last things Jose Tabata did as a major leaguer. Runner on the move. Throws on the opposite side of the bag by Wilson Ramos, and Hazelbaker swipes a bag. Runner at second, nobody out.
Decent jump by Hazelbaker. Straight steal, doesn't look back the whole way. Wilson Ramos got a pretty good pitch to handle. Down, got rid of it quick. Just the speed of Hazelbaker, which is an awesome name. I can't say that one enough. I love it. It's a big league name.
Jacob Wilson, the third baseman today.
Lucas Giolito might change his name to Hazelbaker with all the baked goods he's making in his apartment.
I tell you, when Lucas Giolito walked by us in the hallway outside the clubhouse this morning, I had forgotten how enormous he is. 3-1. Oh my gosh, 60 feet away from him. Are you kidding me?
A large human. Dan's going to talk to him during the game today. Get to chat with Lucas Giolito. I think Gio Gonzalez is going to join us.
Three balls, 1 strike to Jacob Wilson. He got jammed and he popped it up. Near the mound, Anthony Rendon made the first call. Then the wind took it over to Clint Robinson. So they had both sides of the mound covered there very well.
Well, the best thing that happens right there is Max Scherzer peeled out of there, so there wasn't a lot of traffic for Rendon and Robinson. So you take the pitcher out of the equation, makes it more simple. Heads up play, veteran move by Scherzer. I think Tanner Roark is going to join us next half too, so stay tuned.
Magnarius Sierra, the right fielder.
That's a better name than Hazelbaker.
That's right up there with Diomedes Olivo and Archimedes Caminero.
Yeah, that's a good name. Double ear flap, minor league guy.
I just went back 50 years with Diomedes Olivo. But who's counting? Sierra 2 for 4 in RBI this spring. He was their organization player of the year a couple of years ago. Scherzer loves to work base runners. And this went out into center. It's going to tail a bit toward the gap. Ben Revere there to grab it. 1 hop throw to Rendon, 2 outs. I'll take a shot at the Teddy Plush window cling that you can get April 26th at the ballpark when the Nats play the Phillies game 1 of a 3-game series. First 20,000 fans receive a Teddy Plush window cling. Nationals.com for all your ticket information. Check it out. A lot of great things happening at the ballpark as we look ahead to the start of the season and on into the first couple of months.
Does that mean you just put Teddy on your window and he looks all creepy like he's looking in your house?
He clings. That ball's well hit by the catcher, Carson Kelly. That's going to get St. Louis on the board. They signed veteran Brian Pena to back up Yadier Molina. This young catcher's 5 for 9 this spring with 3 runs batted in now.
A pretty good swing right there. Barrel of the baseball. The stolen base by Hazelbaker. Comes up big.
Next up, the DH, David Washington. Three hits and 14 ABs this spring. Max Scherzer, it's his 3rd spring start. Came in with a 2.25 ERA. So now in nearly 6 innings of work, he's given up just 6 hits, 2 runs.
Well, it's really something little, and maybe we can catch it on this pitch, but I love the way Max Scherzer looks the runner back, then picks up his target and goes home. A lot of pitchers will be moving their head from the runner at second to home plate in the middle of their delivery, but Scherzer, who has excellent command, is always picking up his target like that before he starts his motion. And I think a lot of times as a pitcher, you know, a lot has been talked about Gio Gonzalez this year picking up his target where he has that looks down at his delivery, then picks it up late. Mike Maddox working with Gio to kind of lock in on the catcher's glove, but for you young pitchers at home, I don't think you can stare down the catcher's glove long enough. It'd be like shooting a gun and you just look at the last second through the sights. Tough to hit your target, but if you're focused in like that for a long time, now you're really locking into where you want to throw the baseball.
2-1.
Or maybe even as a hitter looking at the first baseman and then at the last second looking at the pitcher. Tough to pick up the baseball, very similar.
By the way, that was a good pick a moment ago by Wilson Ramos. This one a little bit low. Ball 3. We'll see Wilson get an AB leading off the second. Recent LASIK surgery. "13 pitches first inning. Here's number 20 coming in the second inning alone." Scherzer unable to get the call on the inside edge. He took a look into Hunter Wendelstedt. 2 on, 2 out.
Well, he thought this was a strike. Pretty big reach by Wilson Ramos to the other side of the plate. I think Hunter got that one right.
Wong struck out on a pitch in the dirt first time. Actually, it was later in the inning when he struck out Brandon Moss on a slider down. The one that he threw to Wong actually went over his bat. This doesn't happen with a breaking ball that often. Colton Wong, 262 last year, 11 homers, 61 RBIs. He's 5'9", under 190, but he generates some power. Stole 15 bases. 0-1 pitch. Gets under this one, out to short right field. Murphy out, Harper in. Daniel makes the wave and the catch to hold off Bryce. St. Louis gets a run on 2 hits. Around to steal. Space Coast Stadium. The Nats offense launching so far.
have a 3-1 lead here at Space Coast Stadium. Tanner Roark hopping into the camera well to join me. The Dan and Tan show, the truck says. What do you think?
It sounds all right.
Okay.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah. Could be better, could be worse.
As long as you keep that beard going, then we'll be all right.
See, matching beards, kind of matching names. This is cute. Tanner, this is now your 4th big league camp. It's kind of, it's strange for me to think about that it's been 4 years. How have you kind of evolved as a pitcher over these 4 years that you've spent time in the big leagues?
Just keep learning, come into every spring training, ready to go, ready to prove myself, and, learn from all the veteran guys, and especially this year with the new management with Dusty and Mike, just to learn from those guys who have years and years in the big leagues and just try to pick their brains.
You mentioned Mike Maddox, new pitching coach, and you said after your start yesterday you went 4 solid innings. You mentioned that one thing that you've picked up from Mike so far this spring is to not take a pitch off in your starts. What do you mean by that? What's the focus there?
Just keep conviction on every pitch. You might feel good, throughout the whole entire game, and then you might take one pitch off and it could be a home run right there. So it could be a guy on and you could give up on one pitch and you leave it right down the middle and now it's 2-0, but you still feel great, So he really emphasizes, keep focus, keep conviction and execution on all your pitches at all times.
You hear guys talk about get me over off-speed stuff, essentially get rid of that type of an attack plan?
Yeah, exactly. That's what happened to me yesterday. A curveball to Kelly, and I kind of just flipped it up there, and it was base knock. So you got to really keep the execution conviction like you're trying to get everyone out.
You did a little bit of everything last year. You started games, you closed games. You got your first big league save. Is it nice this year to go into spring training here knowing that you're building up as a starter, and that's the way that it's going to go into the season?
Yeah, definitely. It's good to I always pride myself on being a starter, and I definitely want to be a starter. So just work hard, and everything else will take care of itself.
Thank you, Tanner.
Yeah, thank you, Dan.
Guys, back to you.
And thank you, gentlemen. Yeah, 4-7 last year, 40 games, 12 starts. Tanner got kind of bounced back and forth, never said a word, did whatever it was that Matt Williams and the staff asked him to do. Can't wait to see him maybe with a full season, 30 starts or so as a starter, and see if he can return to what he did back in 14. He was amazing.
Wilson Ramos just got a throw over. I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
Waka working on something. Yeah, good catch.
I see the 2 seasons. 2014, 15 wins, 3.44 ERA. I've often compared him to Greg Maddux with that front door sinker he throws and some of the way he keeps you off balance and guessing and how he sets up hitters throughout the course of the game, and you never really know what's coming with him. He never had that opportunity last year, just pitching 1 inning out of the pen.
Waka's going to paint with a couple of heaters right into the hands of Danny Espinosa, who's still looking for his first spring training base hit. Those were nasty heaters.
Yeah, how he gets on top of that ball inside the baseball, and there's just didn't really come back, did it? Pretty straight, pretty true. Good frame by Kelly, gets the call.
Yeah, that time the catcher was reaching across, and Waka got the call back up to the top of the order for Ben Revere, who ignited a 5-hit, 3-run first inning with a leadoff single. A really nice line drive, slicing it right up the middle over toward the gap. One ball, 1 strike. Love to see Ben Revere gap one here and see if Davey Lopes gives him the stop sign at first base. He could be right on the back of Wilson Ramos here. 1 on, 1 out, bottom of the 2nd. It'll be in the air to the left side into foul ground. Jacob Wilson. 2nd out, 2nd inning. Unmasson will be back with you next Saturday for a day game against the National League pennant-winning Mets. Following Wednesday, a 5 o'clock ball game against the Yankees. They'll be over here in Vieira. We'll wrap it up 2 weeks from today against the Braves here. Then have a couple of Nationals Park games against the Twins. Friday, Saturday. April 1 and 2 before the Nats open in Atlanta the following Monday. Kind of odd when you open on the road and then come home, because you play one game, have a day off, play another game in Atlanta, come home, play one game, then a day off. So Tuesday and Friday off days during the first week of the season.
It's a grind, that opening day. Takes a lot out of you. The schedule is out. All of my friends ask me, why are they scheduling off days so early? Well, it's for weather. Especially when you open up on the East Coast, you never know if you're going to get opening day in, so they schedule off days early in case there's a rain out.
Or snow or ice. El Nino. Bryce, high chopper, double down the right field line for an RBI first time after Worth had sent the ball hard to the right center gap. 2-0. And Worth takes a high fastball strike on 3-0.
It's all right. You want to hit spring training anyways. Probably a little bit high. Jason Worth thinking it's ball 4, but now he's got a 3-1 count to deal with 2 outs. See another pitch.
He's never minded seeing 5 or 6 pitches per at bat down here. So now he'll see at least 6.
Jason Worth going to have a little chat with Hunter. 3-0 might have been a little high. He's wondering if that one was outside. Hunter's saying, I got a tee time at 4.
Well, and Waka has been given, you got to be honest about it, he's been given strikes on both sides of the plate today. Usually it's one side or the other. 3-2 with 2 outs. On the move, Ramos. Worth kind of tomahawks one into right field, and then the breeze gets a hold of it coming in from center and pushes it foul.
Well, I mean, the Jason Worth hurt all last year playing uphill against the, the 8 ball, but look where his hands are. They're up high this year. They were right around his number to start the swing last year, and even though that's kind of a protect-to-be swing with a 3-2 count, he got on top of that pitch and drove it the other way. Last year, because of his shoulder, his hands were right around the 2 and the 8 on his numbers, and he kind of got into pushing the baseball because remember we used to talk about Stack and Jack in 2014, where he would stand tall and pound down on the baseball and create that backspin. Because of that injury last year, he couldn't, and I think Michael Walker just balked. Either that or Wilson Ramos got a really good jump.
Ramos to second with 2 outs. Jason 1 RBI this spring, 2 for 10. Now that's ball 4. Got to see a bunch of pitches in that at bat, and that'll bring Bryce up with 2 outs. Well, it just keeps getting better and better, doesn't it? Bryce, of course, hurt a lot in 2014. Healthy and on the field for most of last year, which was huge for him and for the ball club. So Bryce, only 100 games 2 years ago, 153 last year, 521 official at bats. Of course, then when you count the walks, 124 of them. The kind of season we've all been waiting and hoping for.
Hey, even though Jason Worth just walked right there, whoever hits in front of Bryce Harper this year is going to see a lot of strikes. Obviously, you want to get the guy out in front of Bryce. You don't want to put base runners on for the reigning National League MVP. So what's going to happen if you hit second? You're going to get a lot of pitches to hit. What's going to happen if you're hitting fourth? You're going to have a lot of opportunities to drive in runs because guys are going to pitch around Bryce Harper. So when you have a superstar player like Bryce, the guy in front of him and the guy behind him benefit.
Yeah, pull position, but not really a shift against Bryce. Goes the St. Louis defense. That tails outside. 2-0. taking all the way.
Almost like he knew he wasn't getting a 2-0 fastball, and I'm not going to swing at your changeup. I mean, he knows in hitters' counts that he rarely gets a fastball.
Two-one pitch.
It's like another changeup from Walker.
Big crowd today. 7,200 is the capacity of Space Coast Stadium. And a 2-2. Bryce hits it out the other way.
So you saw a 2-0 changeup, a 2-1 changeup, then Walker going back to the fastball in a 2-2 count. I think that's one thing Bryce Harper learned last year is just kind of think backwards up there and take what they give you. Take your walks when they're there. Don't force the issue in big situations.
24 years old versus 22 right here. Two of the bright young stars of the National League. Curveball 74 in the dirt. So the count goes full. With Ramos at second and Worth behind him, runners would be off and moving.
Three-two changeup right here.
Well, you'd rather walk him than see one hit the roof of the batting cage out in right field. This will be an interesting pitch selection. 3-2. That looked like a changeup down and away. Oh, Bryce is going to be punched out by Manny Gonzalez down at third base.
Was a changeup, 82 miles an hour, a lot of downward movement, and Bryce Harper went. Got him. There's a lot to say. Three to 1 Nats as we head to the top of the third inning from breezy Space Coast Stadium. Experience the thrill of Nationals baseball and all that Nats Park has to offer. 2016 single game tickets are on sale now. Here, you do this part, but you don't say that.
Get your seats before they're see you later. It actually says going, gone. But
yeah,
that's Mel Allen's call.
Such an awesome ad-lib. Visit Nationals.com to purchase your single game tickets now.
It's only the second game. Jeez.
It's good.
Tighten it up.
I set you up for that. I teed it up for you.
Here's Aledmys Diaz. Max Scherzer, first two innings. Second frame a little bit long. So right now he's at 36 pitches, 24 strikes. I think a lot of announcers have used going, gone, but Mel Allen might have been the first.
I'm partial to see you later.
Oh, 2. Scherzer's got some kind of breaking ball going today. Strikeout number 4.
Little slider for Max Scherzer, looking like a fastball all the way. Bottom drops out at the end. And Diaz, who he hit the first time up, strikes out second time.
Brandon Moss struck out as well. And this one high in the air out to right. Bryce Harper coming forward. Ballpark's been playing big this week with the wind coming from the south. 2 outs, and Tommy Pham will be the hitter. It's interesting, from everything I've read, the new ballpark in West Palm, capacity-wise, will actually be smaller in seats than this park. There will be more room out in the outfield for families and picnics and all that sort of fun thing. Can't wait.
Do you have a good Holiday Inn Express in Palm Beach?
I've heard the hotel situation might be a little better down there.
They have a tiki bar in Palm Beach?
I'm sure there's a tiki bar somewhere. Hey, you laugh. We've done a number of our opening segments out there over the years.
I don't know why we
missed the tiki bar.
Why did we do it today?
Because the camera hasn't been able to stand steady enough to shoot us. It's been too windy. That one time when we barely got you back to the booth told that tale, so that was it.
Yeah, we had to sprint up here. What's up, boys?
1 ball and 2 strikes. I mean, those guys out in dead center. Their job's a little easier today than it was here on Thursday.
Pretty sure it's Frank and Tony.
Yeah. Another breaking ball and a 1-hop for Anthony Rendon. So Max Scherzer goes economical in a 1-2-3, top of the 3rd.
That's still up 3-1 here at Space Coast Stadium in beautiful Viera. Gio Gonzalez joining me, Meow. Gio, good to see you.
Hi, doing the meow. I'm doing meow. I'm doing good right, meow. No. But as far as that, I mean, let's talk about your beard right now.
So we're jumping right in?
Right in. I mean, let's just go right into it. I mean, you look like just the man right now. You got the beard going. You got that look. It's just rugged. I didn't fight somebody.
Oh,
you do. Nah, I mean, me, I still got to work on this. I got more of a Aladdin look kind of thing. So I got to kind of chop this down, kind of work something out here.
I hear Jonathan Papelbon is making some Aladdin jokes at your expense.
Oh, man, if he only knew. I have a carpet I ride around in the clubhouse, so don't worry about it.
FP was calling you Gio DeGrom with the salad in the back. How do you feel about that?
No. He's his own guy. I'm trying to be my own. DeGrom started this. I'm just enjoying the ride. That's basically it.
Is this sticking around for a while?
It's cheaper, I tell you that. Save a lot of money on my car insurance.
You used to get haircuts like every 5 minutes, so this is a little different now.
Oh, well, it was, basically every 5 minutes. I mean, salary started, when you get a family now, you got to learn how to budget a little bit more. But as soon as possible, I just came to my senses and said, hey, save some money. It's time to, maybe one day it's going to come that day.
He's got himself a razor sponsorship. You're all over the place, Gio.
Yeah, I mean, Wall's been great to me. They said, hey, maybe you should grow a beard out and kind of like look a little more manlier. You can't look like this 12-year-old kid going out there pitching. So
you and me both.
Yeah, so I grew it out a little bit. I'm sure my fiance enjoys looking at it. So it's better than nothing.
That's what's important. Nice over-the-shoulder catch there to rob Zim of a hit. We're covering all the serious topics here. Let's talk some baseball. Gio, you've talked this spring about how with Mike Maddox you've tried to pick up the target a little more. Keep your eyes locked on the catcher's mitt before you deliver the pitch. How do you feel like that's going? Obviously, anytime you make any type of changes to your delivery, it might take a little time to set in. How do you feel like that's going?
I think it's been great. As far as mechanics, there's, minor adjustments I like to make. There's a timing mechanism I work with Mike as much as possible in, but as far as what his game plan is with me, I feel like we're both on the same page. He has a great idea of, just picking up your target, staying longer on a target, where someone said it's a lot easier to hit your target when you're looking at it instead of it's hard to hit something you can't see. So as far as what he's been trying to go with me, I'm trying to keep a little bit of my craft still, where it's still a little bit more my signature, and then put some of Mike's work on it. So as far as that, it definitely it has been helping out, where we're working more on the bullpens on it, see what it comes out to be.
What's your goal over these next couple weeks as you try and be in top form come opening day?
I think that's basically it, just trying to be in top form, just be healthy, be in shape. I want to break camp right where I want to be. Obviously this is what spring training is about, tune up a little bit, just get your work in, get out, and get ready for the season. But it's almost like what Dusty said. I mean, if you're ready now, it's a little too early. You might hit your peak right before April, and you don't want to do that. You want to kind of like get your rust out of the way and cobwebs spinning, get them all out, and get the wheels going. And as soon as you get going, hopefully come in healthy spring training and not spring training, the season, and get rock and rolling.
Yeah, health probably that key word for this ball club,
right?
Oh
my God, it's huge, and especially we got such a great lineup, great guys in the bullpen and starting pitchers. It'd be nice to break all of us at the same time and get ready for the season, especially with the way we're looking now. New manager, pitching coach, everyone looks great. Even Davey Lopes in first. So as far as what we're doing, I think this spring training has been nice and relaxed.
Gio, thanks for the time as always, buddy.
Come on, man. Easily. With that beard, it's always a pleasure.
Who can resist? Yeah. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, gentlemen. Gio and Dan. Dan Gio. All right, we're going to the bottom of the fourth. That was Jordan Walden, by the way, with a 1-2-3 third.
spring training game summary as we cruise to the top of the 4th inning. Ben Revere got it started with a single. Bryce Harper, an RBI double in the first. And Max Scherzer, we've waited a long time to see Max pitch. The last time we did, he struck out 17 Mets and threw a no-hitter. And today, kind of picked up right where he left off. Watch this pitch. I thought it was his best one of the day. A little subtle slider that had a late tilt to it to get Brandon Moss. And then another curveball-ish slider thing right there. Sometimes it's tough to tell what Max is throwing. He adds, he subtracts, he moves the ball in, out, mixes it up nice. And he's got a good one working here as he heads into his last inning.
44 pitches, 30 strikes through 3. Jeremy Hazelbaker with a bouncer up the middle, had some topspin, got by Danny Espinosa. That was the first St. Louis hit 2 innings ago. He's only given up one other knock, walked a batter, hit a batter. Nats about hit the Cards, 6-2, lead 3-1. Another home game here tomorrow. Astros will be here. The Nats go to Kissimmee and play Houston on Tuesday, and then down to Jupiter to play the Marlins on Wednesday. We'll have the Mets here for you next Saturday afternoon.
On Thursday, they wear green hats.
It'll be Daniel Murphy Day at the ballpark.
Yeah, there you go.
That is some jammage. And a running catch by Danny Espinosa. First out, 4th inning. So the ball game less than an hour old here at Vieira. Kind of cloudy right now. There is a threat of rain later today. We've heard anything from 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock or later. Hopefully enough to get the ball game in. So far, Max Scherzer online to get his work in right now. And the third baseman, Jacob Wilson, he jacks one to left. Foul ball to the left of the challenger foul pole out there.
Pretty good wood right here. Just caught it out front a little bit. Couldn't keep it fair. Wind's kind of blowing from right to left, so it pushed it foul.
And the Scherzer comes back with a low in the zone fastball. 0-2. Hit a long ball and a fastball, and you get 2 more. Max Scherzer, 5 strikeouts now.
Oh, elevated fastball, a little extra. I don't know if that gun's reading right. This looked harder than 91 to me. Just tell by the swing. It's by Jacob Wilson.
Yeah, I'm with you. It seems a little slow today.
Not as exact, I'm being told, as the regular season. The one we have in the regular season is good. That one you can't take to court if you're speeding.
Yeah, these are the old-fashioned radar guns that you hope the Florida Highway Patrol has on I-95.
That's a racetrack, I'm telling you. There it is, the Jugs gun.
I'm telling you, between here and Miami, oh my gosh.
I was doing 80 yesterday, and cars were flying by me like it was nothing.
Were you tired? Only doing 80?
Yeah. I was in reverse.
1-1 to Magnarius Sierra. Young man from the Dominican. Can't go down to get that one. Already a career batting average in the minors of 293.
That wasn't 89, but
I'm pretty sure it was unhittable, which the gun can't tell you. Got to have the eye test on that. Here's the 1-2. Ooh, right on the shoe, or was that the dirt? Yeah, I got him. Sounded like it. Sierra just stood there for a while. I mean, that had to smart. He didn't really sell it to the umpire. Finally got sent down to first.
That was an odd reaction. He was looking for permission to go to first base after the ball hit him in the foot. And you described it perfectly. You got to sell it better than that. Or maybe He wanted to hit. I don't know. I got a chance to steal second base with 2 outs. See if he can run.
47 career minor league steals. And the first pitch to Carson Kelly, hit the ball really well first time.
He was going. He broke. Scherzer heard step off and threw to first.
Kind of spinning that ball the other way under the hands of the right-handed hitter.
Vince Coleman was a double ear flap guy.
Yeah. Foul tip and a chance. Ooh, Wilson Ramos to Clint Robinson. A little lower with the throw. They might have had him. Good reaction, though, by Wilson behind the plate.
A lot of action right there. Might have been Max Scherzer's best slider of the day, by the way. Don't sleep on that. And a double pump by Wilson Ramos was the difference right there. If he would have trusted it initially, he had him. Look at the slider, though. See him kind of be surprised right there? A throw over coming right here. You saw the thumb from Wilson Ramos. He'll set up inside, maybe try to deke the hitter. Stuff you look for when you're a veteran base runner on first base, and Davey Lopes will teach these guys. When you peek in, know the other team's throw over sign. That way you're not going to tip off that you're stealing. You get back easy and maybe go the next pitch. See if he sets up inside again. Probably not. See, now he's going outside. Opposite of where he set up on the throw over. Bigger lead.
1-1 pitch.
The reason catchers will set up in a different spot is as soon as the pitcher throws over on a pickoff as a hitter, you look straight down to see where the catcher's setting up.
1-2 with 2 outs. Started, then stopped, did the runner. The ball got Kelly up around the trademark, and he managed to bump it out of play over the dugout. Top of the 4th inning, St. Louis has had a run on 2 hits. Those both came in the second. The guy in the box, Carson Kelly, with an RBI double. Max about to throw pitch number 60. Long hold. And a ball popped up to left. Espinosa under it with Worth behind him. Max Scherzer, nice day. 4 innings, 5 strikeouts, a run on 2 hits. 3-1 Washington.
There's a lot to see.
Sunday brunch and you missed the first inning, we'll show it to you. Ben Revere got the party started with a base hit. Jason Worth with a single to right center. Bryce Harper with a chopper over first for a double. That scored Ben Revere. Then a little wild pitch from Michael Wacha allows Jason Worth to come screaming home. And then welcome to spring training, Ryan Zimmerman. He had a base hit. So 4 consecutive hits to open up this ball game. An RBI single from Ryan Zimmerman. Max Scherzer talking to the skipper. Dusty saying, keep doing what you're doing. And maybe that's a discussion of, can I go out there for one more? I don't think so, though, right? 60 pitches, that's good. 61.
And March 13th, early. Left-hander Marco Gonzalez. That's a pretty good swing by Clint Robinson against the lefty, but they had their shortstop Diaz up the middle for the first out. Lucas Giolito with Dan Coco.
Thank you, Bob. We are under fire right now. Sunflower seeds and gum. Lucas, thank you for taking a couple minutes with us. Your first big league camp. You've been impressing people on the mound and in the kitchen as well this spring. This has taken over the internet. Talk to us a little bit about your Monday baking extravaganzas with Spencer Kieboom and Nick Lee.
It started out as a little thing. We got into the apartment and we decided that, hey, let's bake a housewarming cake. You know, we're all in here. Let's do it. And from there, I put it on Twitter, and it kind of grew into like an every Monday. It's a little bake-off. So it's been really fun so far. I'm glad everyone's enjoying it.
Scale of 1 to 10, where were your baking skills coming into spring training, and where are they now as you get pelted?
My baking skills were pretty much at 0. I had no idea what I was doing. We were undercooking. We were overcooking. Now we've got a little bit of a base. We're working well. We made some good lemon bars last week, and this week we're looking forward to something good.
I had a piece of one of those lemon bars. Quite tasty. Yes. Impressive work. Thank you.
Yeah.
So your first big league camp, what's been the major takeaways so far as you've gotten to spend time with all these big league starters and pick their brains a little bit, and the coaching staff and everything?
It's been really fun. It's a lot of this stuff, but I've been learning a lot as well. I talked to Max about change-ups the other day, learned a lot. Just having a good time with these guys. It's really cool to be here. It's a tremendous honor to still be here and contribute and hopefully get a chance to contribute later this year.
And I know you've played golf with Strauss. You've been trying to really soak in oh my goodness. Aaron Barrett just drilled you with a piece of gum there. You've really been trying to soak in this experience as much as possible, haven't you?
Yeah. It's been a fun ride so far, and I'm just trying to enjoy every day here and learn as much as I can from these guys. Aim is pretty good today, but
yeah, they're on point. Now, Nationals fans have known your name for a couple years now. Obviously, a first-round pick. How has your work on the mound kind of evolved over these couple years as you've gotten time as a professional ball player and you've come to work out the finer points of the game?
Yeah, I feel like I've come a long way after the surgery. I started developing the changeup a lot. Over the past couple of years, I kind of developed what the right kind of demeanor to have on the mound is, just to stay cool and collected. I feel like I made a lot of strides in that, just overall as a pitcher, and I'm looking forward to making more. I mean, no pitcher's ever perfect. There's definitely a ton to learn every single day.
And you were telling me the other day you hadn't been allowed to throw your two-seamer for the last couple of years coming back from Tommy John. Now you've started to incorporate that again. What's kind of the plan of attack with that pitch? How do you see that benefiting you as you work that back into your repertoire?
I mean, it's just another look at the fastball. It's got sink on it. Sometimes it might run a little bit. I used to throw in high school before I hurt myself. They kind of took it away. They just wanted me to focus on that four-seam command. Yeah, now that I guess the leash is loosened a little bit, I started working with the two-seamer in the offseason. It's felt really, really good so far. I'm able to throw it for a strike pretty consistently, which is good right out of the gate. And I think it's gonna be a good pitch. Maybe throw it behind in the count, get a little ground ball.
Lucas, you're a gamer. Thanks for enduring the shower of seeds and gum that you got in here with me. Appreciate it.
It's been a pleasure. All right.
That pleasure is wearing off quickly. Thanks, Lucas.
Yeah, thank you.
Guys.
Giolito, 13 games at Single-A Potomac, 8 at Double-A Harrisburg last year. 2.71 ERA, then a 3.80 on his promotion to Double-A. Solid numbers.
He's already doing better than Gio. Gio got caught in the cord coming out of the interview, and Giolito didn't, so. He's been around the camera his whole life. His parents both in the business. His dad, Rick, his mom, Lindsay. Say hi to them. And I think they're in California. Gotten to know them throughout the years. Couldn't be more proud of their son. And hopefully we see him in D.C. this year. I think we might.
That would be awesome. And by the way, not to be overlooked here, Wilson Ramos 2 for 2. He had that flare hit the first time, but in this inning, hard line drive hit through the left side. He was erased on the fielder's choice. So Ben Revere for the third time. He has singled, scored, and fouled out. Facing a tough left-hander here in Marco Gonzalez.
Dan doing a nice job under fire right there. Solid. Although he was acting like they were throwing rocks at him. There were some folks. He was very dramatic.
He loves the attention.
I was looking today.
They could throw buckets of seeds at him and he'd love it.
I don't know if Dan saw this, but there's a Candolco on Twitter now. Candolco.
Candolco?
Mm-hmm. See that, Dan? You're famous. You have a parody account.
And Rivera able to lay off that 0-2 breaking ball that might have teased him low and away. Danny Espinosa, first base, 2 outs. Wow.
Did that hit him?
He was swinging, and it sounded like the ball hit him. That was not bat that we heard. And Ben Revere kind of holding on. I don't know, he touched his shoulder. He had touched his wrist.
Did he foul that ball off his shoulder? No.
Obviously, if you're swinging, you're not hit by the pitch.
He did. He keeps pointing to his left shoulder. I think he fouled that ball off his shoulder. That might be a first. See it. Am I right? That might be a first. Let's see. No, he just got hit with the pitch. Like straight hit him in the shoulder. And it looked like he swung after it hit him in the shoulder. Maybe he thought that was a slider. He was trying to stay in there on the slider. Couldn't pick up the release point. But he's going to first, but that's strike 3.
Yeah, if you're swinging and hit by a pitch, it's a strike.
Yeah.
Goes down as a K for Marco Gonzalez. The net's going to hit from Ramos, and they still lead after 4, 3-1.
As a hitter, when you're left on left, right on right, you're anticipating a certain pitch. And right here, it looked like Ben Revere was anticipating a slider. What does that mean? Well, you're telling yourself stay in there on the slider. So right here, Ben Revere's thinking that's a slider. I am going to go down and away and get this. And right when he starts his swing, he realizes that ball ain't breaking. It ain't going down and away. It's staying up and in. And it gets him right in the shoulder almost after He swung after the ball hit him, but he's trying to stay in there on a slider. So a lot of times you're guessing slider, you're anticipating slider. You are so convinced it's coming that you really don't pick it up until too late. And obviously, Ben Revere picked that one up later than late.
35-year-old Matt Belisle was with St. Louis last year. 34 games, a 2.67 ERA. Been in the big league since 2003 with the Reds, the Rockies, and that 1 year in St. Louis. And Belisle this spring, first appearance. He faces the DH, David Washington. Nats had him played perfectly. That ball came up for Danny Espinosa. So Max Scherzer, final line on him, 4 innings, 2 hits, a run, a walk, 5 strikeouts, hit 2 batters, 60 pitches, 42 strikes.
And Belisle, a 4-pitch guy, fastball, slider, curveball, change, fastball last year with the Cardinals, averaged 91 miles an hour.
Strike with the heater, moving away from Colton Wong, who's 0 for 2. With a swinging strikeout and a pop up to second.
How about a big league pitcher like Matt Belisle and starting your career in Cincinnati and Colorado and pitching in those ballparks?
Have at it. Yeah, that'll give you a 4.34 career ERA.
It's got to be an exchange rate on that ERA, doesn't there?
Well, an indication of how crazy Coors Field is. In 2011, he appeared in 74 games as a reliever. He went 10-4. So he came into some ball games when the Rockies were behind. Then they rallied and got him some wins. That'll happen in a crazy place like that. Anthony Rendon throws out Colton Wong, 2 down.
Let me try this one. MLB.TV Premium. Everything you've come to expect and more. New low price for 2016. Watch every out-of-market game of all 30 teams live in true HD on over 400 supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details.
Aledmys Diaz has been hit by a pitch and struck out. .264 at AA, 380 at AAA last year. That was just 14 ball games with their club in Memphis, their AAA, but they think highly of this young infielder from Cuba. Ben Revere still rubbing that back shoulder when he hits. Fortunately, not his throwing shoulder. And that's inside, 1-2. I just don't want anything crazy to happen in spring training, like what happened to Anthony Rendon last year. 1-2-3, Belisle following Max Scherzer halfway through the game. 3-1 Nats.
Who doesn't want to see some Bryce Harper taters? There's one to right field in Miami. He hit all fields last year. We're going to show you that right here, right now. There's one to center. That looks like a see you later to me, Yankee Stadium. That was off Tanaka. And then this one's to left in Citizens Bank. Another see you later. So we'll check out the home runs by direction. That's a new helmet taker offer guy this year, by the way. Ian Desmond gone, so maybe Dan can get on that one for us. And check it out. 8 home runs to left, 14 to center, 20 to right. Hit them where they pitch them.
Yeah, I mean, the average distance and speed, pretty amazing. Washington broke back on that one, comes in to grab it off the bat of Jason Worth. Bottom of the 5th underway. Another inning of work for the left-hander, Marco Gonzalez.
103 miles an hour, the average speed, and the average distance, 400 feet.
Average.
Average.
Come on. Why don't they walk him occasionally? Oh, yeah, they did, 124 times.
Yeah.
Very soon, Bryce will grab a gold glove. That's probably the next thing on the menu, right? One ball, one strike.
That and one more steak for 100.
Yeah. 99 career home runs for Bryce. Or RBIs, pardon me. Last year, 99. If anybody would have been on base for a couple of minutes, probably would have drove in 125. 248 for his career. 3 home runs to get to 100. Sitting on 97. Numbers. All right. Shift wherever you want. Bryce Harper, the stage of his career at the ripe old age of 22, starting to use the entire field.
Well, that's the thing we noticed last year down here in Vieira. First thing, when you talked to Rick Shue in 2015 in spring training, he was talking about how Bryce Harper is becoming a hitter. And if you watch his batting practice the last couple of years, everything's to left field in the early rounds. And he'll speed up his bat late and hit some home runs to right to the pull side. But I remember one day when the Tigers were here in Vieira, and he was standing out at shortstop. And the Tigers had just started to hit, and he was running off the field, and he stood out there and he watched Miguel Cabrera. I think he was talking to one of the Tigers, and he was watching, and Miggy hit everything to right field. And from that day on, he just started hitting the ball the other way in batting practice consistently. When he was a younger player, Carby, he would want to put on that show during batting practice and hit 500-foot home runs so the other team could see him, which is what probably any young player would do with that kind of pop. But you remember last year, he took all the batting practice in the cage, didn't take it on the field, didn't get outside of himself during batting practice, and kept his hands in that right slot and was consistent all season long.
Yeah, Bryce turned 23 right after the end of last season. Birthday mid-October. Ryan Zimmerman, RBI single first time up, but a ground ball that got through left side. Then a flare to left center robbed him of a hit when Diaz went out and made a fine over-the-shoulder catch. 1 on, 1 out. Check swing. Headed for Tyler Moore and Jason Worth that hit the rail. And by the way, in case you don't know it, Ryan, great philanthropist that he is, recently made $1 million gift donation to his alma mater, the University of Virginia, for the further improvement of their baseball facilities and some new things to be added down there in Charlottesville. So
he would have loved to have bought him a few more three-pointers last night, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, some things money can't buy, but we own Dan Kolko.
Daniel Murphy stepping in now, Bob, and he was out here earlier this week with Danny Espinosa working on their double play combinations. That's something that doesn't just come together. FP would know that. Danny told me it takes a good spring training and a couple weeks to get that chemistry down. Need to know the tendencies of the guy that you're playing with. So Espinosa told me, you got to determine what angle the guy's tossing the ball from, how much pace he puts on it when you get to the bag. So the two of them spent about half an hour after a workout working on those DP combinations.
Yeah, you got to know, does he like the feet in front of the bag, behind the bag? when it's a certain speed of the ball hit to the left side of the infield? Is he coming across? Does he use the bag as protection and back off toward left field? You know, all these things, and it got to the point with Ian Desmond and Danny Espinosa where if you work with a guy through the minor leagues long enough, you really don't even have to communicate it. You just know where the other guy is going to be. And that's a work in progress, and that's going to take a while during the season, too. That's not just something you figure out in spring training. That's going to be when the lights are bright and the game's on the line and the tying run's on third and it's first and third, one out in a one-run ball game. Do you know where he's going to be in the heat of the moment? It's like you tossing it down to Debbie Taylor and then Christina Acra and then Julie Alexandria and now Nass and Dan. You've had to toss it down to a lot of different in-game reporters over the years.
This one's been the biggest adjustment.
And you have to know where Dan's going to be when you toss it down to him. It's very similar.
Timing, making it seamless, as we say. Three balls, one strike with two outs, and Murphy gets out ahead of it. That'll fill the count. And Bryce Harper will be on the move in a moment. Unbelievable what Daniel did last year. 7 for 21 in the first round, 3 homers, 5 ribbies. 9 for 17 in the LCS, 4 homers, 6 RBIs.
You know, I take from that whole thing, Carp, and I was saying it out loud on my couch with a beer in my hand. Why are they pitching to him? And he kept hitting home runs, and I kept saying, why are they even flirting with this guy when he was locked in beyond all locked ins?
Yeah. It was like, well, I'm going to be the guy that gets him out.
Exactly.
And nobody became that guy. Space Coast Stadium in Vieira, Florida. Our first weekend game of the spring. A couple of familiar faces have come into the ball game. Michael A. Taylor will take over in center for Ben Revere. Tyler Moore over at first for Clint Robinson. Number 32 on Timo.
He had to give up his number. Some guy named Dusty Baker's number 12.
Yeah, that's non-negotiable, right?
Yeah.
And then there's Bert Badenhop. We saw him the other night. He was pretty impressive. 3 games so far. That was his best outing, by the way, the other night. He's given up 4 hits, a couple of runs so far. Right-hander's been around the league for a while.
And not a big strikeout guy, solid controlled guy. High ground ball rate 2 years ago at 54.4%. Last year, 46.7%. 3-pitch guy, fastball slider change. Fastball averages 88.
one of a number of pitchers on the staff who have ties to Dusty in Cincinnati, like Matt Belisle, Nick Massett.
You know, when the skipper wants
Arroyo.
When the skipper wants your number, you have to give it to him. I mean, there's no negotiating because he just can say, well, do you want to sit next to me all year? Or give you my number.
Yeah.
You know, a big name free agent takes your number, you know, and then we got some Rolexes and maybe some other gifts involved in the number exchange. But when the skipper wants it, if you want to play, you just have to give it up.
Yeah. 2-2 pitch to Brandon Moss. Up the middle and Badenhop. Good job to get a piece of it. Time to make the exchange on the little backhand flip.
Pitcher's fielding practice. Didn't stick in the glove. Stayed with it nice. Knew he had some time with Brandon Moss running. No panic involved. Nice play.
Bringing in the center fielder, Tommy Pham, who has struck out and grounded out. And single piece, 1 for 3. That's the first St. Louis hit since the Carson Kelly RBI double, second inning. Going to bring in Jeremy Hazelbaker, who had their first base hit leading off that inning, stole a bag, and then scored on that double. Nats have out hit the Cardinals 8-3. Runner on the move, Ramos, and again he pulls that throw to the left field side of the bag. Second time that's happened to Wilson today.
Pham just got a great jump right here. And maybe stole that one off Badenhop. I think Wilson tried to rush the throw because he knew that when he looked up, he had no chance. You could tell as a catcher the distance between the runner and the bag when you're letting go. He knew he didn't have a shot.
And Tommy Pham went into the bag hard. One of their trainers is out there. Mike Matheny is on his way.
Something... his face on something, looks like. See the slide again. Where'd he get him? He got hit in the face with his helmet, maybe? Bouncing up, yeah.
Ooh.
Hit the base, bounced up and got him. That's why you get one that fits.
He'll be replaced by Harrison Bader at second base. Jeremy Hazelbaker, 1 for 2. To the right side. Tyler Moore took one look at it and retreated to the bag, knowing Murphy was going to be there. 2 outs. Next up, the third baseman, Jacob Wilson. Badenhop with a good breaking ball right in there. Badenhop facing the St. Louis third baseman here. Broke into the big leagues with the Marlins back in 08. Cincinnati last year. It's been busy. 2 years ago, 70 games with Boston. Last year, 68 with the Reds. He's pitched 63 games or more 4 times in his big league career.
4 career saves, 45 career holds.
33 years of age. Collegiate ball at Bowling Green State. That's in Ohio. There's another one in Kentucky. On a 1-2 pitch, waiting for the breaking ball, Wilson flies to right. Bryce Harper. Pitching solid today. Anthony Rendon looking for his third at bat of the day. He's 1 for 2. He'll lead off bottom 6. Bottom of the 6th inning. Cloudy day, but very comfortable here. Breeze is blowing at Space Coast Stadium. Winningest teams in baseball since 2012. St. Louis nearly a .580 winning percentage. Dodgers, then the Nats, then the Pirates, followed by the Orioles. So 4 National League teams carrying the banner right there. But you made this mention the other night. Only one's made it to a World Series. St. Louis, and they were beaten by Boston 3 years ago. Anthony Rendon has singled off the pitcher, grounded out to second base. And on the spring, he's 4 for 12 with 3 RBIs. Marco Gonzalez gets a 3rd inning of work. He's a guy who can start, and I'm going to stretch him out a little bit. '91 is Jeremy Hazelbaker in left field. 91 in right field. We don't know.
His younger brother, Bobby Hazelbaker.
Well, that's Harrison Bader. There are 2 91s. Thank you, Brian Bartow of the Cardinals, listed on their card. So that is Harrison Bader, who came into pinch run a moment ago.
Looks like Jackie Robinson did. Who's the famous number 91 in the history of the game?
Yeah, I don't know.
Jackie Robinson's number.
Hey, I don't care if you got 91 in your back and your name's not on there. You're in a big league ball game in spring training.
Absolutely. Your knees are knocking. When you're not on the roster and you're invited over for a big league game, it's the greatest thing ever. Not only to rub shoulders with major leaguers to kind of see how they go about their business, but just to get out of minor league camp for a day. Because minor league camp and big league camp are like day and night. I mean, it's, you know, you actually get real food and you're treated well, and you have a nice clubhouse and a nice bus if you're going on the road. The big league manager gets to watch you play. So all these things, when you just come over for one day, and I've seen it lead to 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, and they talk about maybe making the team for guys that not only are non-roster invites that weren't invited to big league camp, that have come over from minor league camp. There's been times when they've actually made a big league ball club.
1-0 to Tyler Moore. Tyler, 3 hits, 2 homers, 3 RBIs this spring. Oops. Slips right off the glove of Jacob Wilson over there at third base. Tyler Moore hit the ball pretty well with some top spin on it. E5 on the call.
Little top spin, hard dirt on the infield. It's dried out in the, I guess, kind of sun all day. But once you back up on this with the top spin, it's going to shoot on you, actually pick up speed. And Wilson wasn't ready for it with his Wilson.
And a Wilson steps in to hit. Ramos 2 for 2 today, so he's 2 for 4 this spring in 2 games. Nats have still 8 hits. Ramos has 2 of them. Another guy that produced a lot of runs with a rather low batting average. Desmond, Zimmerman, and Ramos all last year, but Wilson had 68 RBIs. He's 3 for 3 today, while hitting .229 last year. Played in the most games ever, 109, and that was a career-high RBIs for him, second only to Buster Posey.
I'll tell you what, if you follow Wilson Ramos on Instagram, all season, or all off-season, he was showing himself working out, and his workouts were intense. I mean, and you're just thinking to yourself, this guy's really serious about showing that 2015 was an aberration, that he's going to be back in 2016. And he looks like he's in great shape. If you saw the workouts, you know he worked his tail off in the off-season. And now he can see the baseball on top of it. Look out.
Danny Espinosa for a right-handed AB here. Danny just needs a feel-good knock. He's 0 for 13 this spring. Might be an RBI attached to one here.
That's this year's version. Shaved it off the next day, so he got a scoreboard pick in. Last year it was Yosemite Dan, and this year that's just a fierce beard. There's really no other way to put it.
Yeah, it's just too bad they didn't allow the cowboy hats he wears on the plane and in the hotel.
He should have worn that, like a Nats cowboy hat. Nice season last year. A lot of intangibles that you can't see in those numbers, playing a lot of different positions, bringing energy to the ball club last year. And I said it last year, and I'll say it again this year. When Danny Espinosa played last year, I don't care what his numbers are, the Nats won. They did. And when he went back to the bench, they didn't.
1-1 pitch. So well respected in the clubhouse. Made only 3 errors all year.
And some of those were questionable. The calls on him.
Two-one pitch. That time Gonzalez turned one over on him. All right, here's situations like this, the test for Danny Espinosa. Trying to get the bat on the ball. Cut down his strikeouts somewhat last year. Fewer strikeouts while playing more games. He went from 122 to 106. Situations like this, you just want to see him get the ball in play and use his legs. Off speed got him. Strikeout number 5 for Marco Gonzalez.
Well, you remember Michael Taylor last year in Colorado on August 20th? The 5th longest tater all season long. I guess 4th longest because Giancarlo hit 2 that were 484. Let's show it to you. Remember August 20th, 2015? I don't, but I'm going to right now. When I see where this home run lands and bounces up in the concourse at Coors Field.
Yeah, almost dead center.
I love going to Colorado.
Just because you're not a pitcher.
That's true. I'm a broadcaster. I just love going to Colorado. Great ballpark.
If their announcers got paid by the hour, they'd be the richest men in baseball. A little bit inside. Second base, Tyler Moore. Right behind him, Wilson Ramos. Taylor with a pretty good swing, leveling off, fouling it straight back. There's another guy. Michael A. only hit .229 last year, but he drove in 63 runs.
3 for 3 yesterday. He's hitting .444 in the spring, 8 for 18. Trey Turner was 2 for 3 yesterday. He's having a good spring. Those two were 5 for 6 combined. And that's had 14 hits yesterday and won 11-1 over the Braves. Yeah.
Well, here's another try to make contact count, 1 and 2. Gonzalez, third inning of work. Taylor does make contact, hits it by Bob Henley.
You can drill holes.
Matt Dendecker next for Jason Worth.
Short, compact, 2-strike approach. Rick Shue on the left. That's Matt Skolin, right?
Nationals lead it 3-1, bottom of the 6th inning. They've out-hit St. Louis by a 3-1 margin, 9-3. And Taylor can't reach the fastball upstairs. Marco Gonzalez gives up a hit. There was an error, but he struck out the side. On to the 7th. Nats by 2. Casey at the bat. It's about a 48-ounce piece of lumber right there.
I know that poem.
I know. You were the man at the Kennedy Center one night.
It was fun.
So we're going to the top of the 7th here. Dusty with a whole bunch of changes, including Rafael Martin on the mound. So Michael A. Taylor stays in and plays center. And Dendecker will lead off next inning. He's in left. Chris Heisey in right. Trey Turner up the middle with Scott Sizemore. And behind the plate, Pedro Severino. And Jason Martinson at first base.
Trey Turner. "13 games last year, 2-0 record, 5.11 ERA, 25 strikeouts versus 5 walks. And you remember the sneaky fastball from Rafael Martin. Not going to light up the radar gun, but it gets on hitters quick.
And that one taken care of by Scott Sizemore. Martinson at third base across from Tyler Moore.
You come in the game,
the ball will find you.
The ball will find you every time, and Scott Sizemore ready for it right there. Nice play going to his right, into a slide, getting up, making a nice throw.
Carson Kelly, the catcher. He has doubled in a run and popped out to short. This one in the air to left. Ted Decker broke back initially. Matt's under it. 2 outs. Pitching's been good today. Guys working quick, throwing strikes. Third at bat today for the DH, David Washington, who has walked and grounded out.
If he played for the Nats, he'd have his name on the front and back of his jersey.
And Rafael went just a little bit upstairs with that fastball.
You sound excited and surprised that it was 0-2 right there.
Not at all the way these guys are throwing. As my old buddy Jim Cott would say, they're chunking today.
They're chunking.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. There's another inning. Time to stretch. Now the sun's out. It's gorgeous in Vieira. Scoreboard looks good. The nest is looking comfy.
It's a wild parrot.
I do everything on the internet.
You had to set your clock ahead today? Right. It's already set. It's all set. It's 3 o'clock right now. It's 3-1. Going to the bottom of the 7th inning. Ben Revere left the game with an injured shoulder. Easy for me to say. And Wilson Ramos, the Buffalo. LASIK surgery, bueno. 3 knocks today. A little blooper there to get the party started. His first hit of the day. A solid single right there. It looks a little more lean to me. I don't know if I'm seeing things or not, but he's seeing the baseball. Definitely. So first game back from the surgery, 3 for 3. Nice day for Wilson Ramos. Yeah, I would still think it'd be 2 o'clock right now. If my clock's
yeah, I'm definitely on 2 o'clock time right now, but we'll get used to it. Jack Flaherty, number 96 for St. Louis. His minor league numbers. He's from Burbank. went to Harvard Westlake High School in California, third year in professional baseball. Hasn't pitched above single A in his career so far.
Teammates with Lucas Giolito in high school.
Cool.
Yeah, how about facing that ball club as a high school hitter? That's just not fair. You're supposed to face some kid throwing like 80 in high school, not guys that are 6'9" throwing a million. What was the record? Find me the record.
You talking to me?
No, I'm talking to the truck. Oh,
okay.
They were 400-0.
Well, if they didn't win conference and at least district, something was wrong in the dugout. Low and inside.
Probably a few scouts. You get a full ride if you were the shortstop on that team from scouts just coming to see Lucas Giolito pitch.
Matt Dendecker, 4 for 16, couple of RBIs this spring. Davey Lopes gets out of the way of that one. What a great man to bring back to this organization. And he's got some greyhounds to work with, too, in terms of speed on this club.
It does.
It's going to be fun to watch. Three-two pitch.
I mean, you got a lot of plus runners on this club. If Dendecker makes the team, you could throw him in there. But sure. Ben Revere, Michael Taylor, Bryce, Anthony Rendon, Danny Espinoza. Did I say it, Marty?
No.
Yeah.
It's a long list. Dendecker down on strikes.
I mean, there's opportunities to take extra bases on this team. Not so much with just the steal, but being heads up. Dusty Baker likes aggressive base running, and that doesn't always involve just the stolen base. First to third, balls in the dirt. I think the key to that, Carp, in my experiences, is having a manager that doesn't care if you get thrown out. If you're being aggressive.
If you're committed to the running game, you're committed, right?
Yeah. So
as long as you're not doing crazy things.
What I mean by that is, as a base runner, you don't have the fear of coming back to the dugout and getting the look, or a manager benching you the next day because you got thrown out. If you have a manager that is okay with you making an aggressive mistake from time to time, then as a base runner, you're fearless. Bake's not going to care if I get thrown out going first to third. If I'm hustling, I did my pre-pitch preparation, I saw the ball, I had a reason for doing it. He's not going to care. So now you got guys that are going to be willing to take more chances, and you're going to see a more aggressive brand of baseball.
Heisey breaks his bat and still hits the ball pretty well to left. 2 down here in the 7th. That'll bring up Brian Goodwin. He's going to take over the DH spot for Ryan Zimmerman. Zimmerman went 1 for 3 with an RBI today, so welcome to the lineup. Ryan, his first game. Goodwin is 25 years old. He was taken by the Nats as a sandwich pick between the first and second rounds 5 years ago, 34th overall out of North Carolina.
Chuck's telling me that Harvard Westlake is 4-1 this year, and they're still looking for the year that Lucas Giolito went there.
4-1?
Yeah. It's rained a lot in California.
Yeah, you're right. I'm thinking they should have played 15 games by now.
Pineapple Express, man. El Nino. I like that Lucas Giolito's just soaking it all in and not on the 5th hole right now.
Busted bat. Ball falling. And a base knock for Goodwin. That'll be his 3rd hit of the spring. Has a couple of RBIs to go with it. And the Nationals are in double figures in hits.
Bat died a hero. Little two-seam fastball it on the hands. Not a whole lot left but the handle. And a base hit. He'll take it.
Next up is Scott Sizemore. Guy who's been around for a while. Big league time with the Tigers, the A's, Yankees. Yeah, he's had a good spring, hitting the ball, hitting for power. 3 homers, 6 RBIs. He's 8 for 17. 240 big league hitter. Goodwin on the move. Throw is late. And I mean, Goodwin came into that bag hard. Boy, gotta love a slide like that. That'll give some infielders something to think about.
I forgot Goodwin on the list of burners. Looks like he might have eased up a little bit there, and he still stole the base. And what happens is a lot of times you'll hear the pop of the catcher's glove if you're not looking in, and you can be deked as a runner thinking that the ball was fouled off or it's in play. It can sound like the ball hitting the bat at times if you're not looking in, and I think that's what happened to Goodwin right there. If you saw those 3 steps where he slowed down, or 2 steps.
58 minor league stolen bases.
Here's a listen.
Goodwin on the move.
See him kind of ease up there for a second, but he's still fast enough to steal the bag.
Nets haven't scored since the first when they put in 3 runs on 5 hits. That one's in there, 1 and 2. Breaking ball, and it's hit in the air to left. Hazel Baker, I think. We're going to the 8th. Pitching staff's been great today. The Nats lead at 3-1.
Table, and then, you know, with J-Dub, and then obviously, you know, Harper's going to be Harp, but when you start getting down and deeper in the lineup with Murphy and Rendon hitting down there, those are really good hitters. So, I mean, we have a chance to, you know, have a good offense and really score some runs. So it's going to be exciting to see and really see those guys produce runs, because I love run support.
Well, Max Scherzer doesn't need a whole lot of run support on certain days, and I like the fact that he's talking about the offense that he'll be working with this year. And on the mound, he had a good day himself. So here's Zarek Davis, 29-year-old right-hander. Been 3 years since he was in the big leagues. Pitched in 10 games out of the Nats bullpen. Won a ball game with a 3.12 ERA. Greg Garcia will be the leadoff hitter in the #1 spot for St. Louis here in the 8th. There's a lot of room on the third baseline, but he couldn't keep it fair.
Good idea, down by 2, trying to get on any way he can. Got a second? I would like to wish my son a belated happy 21st birthday. Yesterday was his 21st, and he's probably watching with a headache today. So I just want to say happy birthday, buddy.
Yeah. If you can hear us, happy birthday, FP.
Loud noises.
What's better than turning 21 when Dad's 3,000 miles away?
Nothing.
Guys getting their work in. Harper, Ramos, Rendon. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And a ball hit to left. Here comes Dendecker, and it's going to fall in front of him. And St. Louis has only their 2nd hit since the 2nd inning and their 4th of the entire game. That'll bring in Dean Anna. Played in 1 game at the big league level last year. Hit .272 with 44 RBIs at AAA. Jonathan Rodriguez on deck, and that's a strike.
Yeah, I like what Dusty did with the lineup today, just simply from the left-right standpoint. And that's tough to manage against. You know, if you stack your lefties, you bring in your lefty specialist, you can leave them in for a whole inning. Or if you have more than one lefty in the bullpen, you can kind of use them all if you stack your lefties. But when you're going Revere, Worth, Harper, Zimmerman, Murphy, Rendon, Robinson, Ramos, Espinoza, I mean, he's mixing that up nice. You could also put Rendon second and Worth down there somewhere, Murphy second. So he's got a lot of interchangeable parts with the batting order. But I like the lineup I saw today, and you and I were wondering if it might very well be the opening day starting lineup. You see to the left over here is on the left side is where the starters were, and the right are the extras.
Yeah.
Balance.
Man, that's a good looking. I mean, when you have guys like Murphy and Rendon hitting in the middle of your lineup, some power with Ramos down there.
If you saw those red marks, too, maybe we get back to that, get one more shot of it after this pitch. See those red marks on the left-hand side? Those are the innings and who's leading off those innings. And once you put the number there and they lead off that inning, you just circle it red so you don't see it anymore. So Rivera led off the first. There was a 1 there over his name. Or maybe he led off the third or something. And then you see Harper with a red mark over his name, Murphy with a red mark. Those are the innings that they're leading off. So as a manager, you know where you're at in the batting order just by looking at the lineup card every inning. And you circle them so you don't get confused after they lead that inning off. Put the next inning up, and if you saw on the right there, Sizemore led off the 7th.
2-0. 3-1 lead that the Nats have enjoyed all day in jeopardy right now. St. Louis first 2 base runners aboard here in the 8th inning. Jonathan Rodriguez. Out of play right side. Rodriguez, a couple of RBIs this spring, 3 for 14. Eric Davis, the Stanford guy, originally drafted by the Padres, 13th round 8 years ago. Good pick at third. And a throw across. And the ball gets by Tyler Moore as Martinson threw it away. Play it home, but that throw's high. So a force at third. A run scores, and another runner ends up at third base.
Well, they stopped by Jason Martinson at third, but a lot of times as a third baseman, when you make that play, the glove plays the hardest part, but you don't get your feet underneath you once you touch the bag because you're in a hurry to turn the double play. He threw that ball a click earlier than he probably should have because he's rushing that throw to turn the double play. So you saw his feet weren't set underneath him. Throws a sinker to first base, and then everything got real weird after that.
There's Harrison Bader. Infield in, and there's the pop-up. It sends Turner out, The wind just going to blow it straight down into his glove. And on one pitch, that's a big second out. 2 outs here in the 8th.
Pretty nice play by Trey Turner. Did you see what he did right there? Took the sun out of the equation. So a lot of times you'll see a shortstop square up to home plate here, but watch Turner. Keeps the sun out of the equation by facing away from it. Sees the baseball all the way. Smart play. Those plays can be tricky in spring training with the high sky, the wind. Veteran move.
Tying run at third base with 2 outs now. Jeremy Hazelbaker 1 for 3. St. Louis sent 1 regular to Jupiter today, Colton Wong, and other than that, well, Brandon Moss, not always an everyday guy, but an established major leaguer, the other.
The rest of them are irregulars.
And that's outside. That's a term you don't hear a lot anymore. Everybody calls them everyday players now, but they used to be called regulars. One 1-0 pitch. Just got an edge of the plate there on the outside.
Good crowd today. A lot of red. All Nats fans, as far as you know.
Well, if they're all Nats fans, I don't like the way they cheered for that error.
Cardinal fans are a loyal bunch. They go everywhere. They're like zombies. Must see the Cardinals play. Everywhere they go. They're awesome.
2-1 pitch, and this game is tied. Tyler Moore made a good leap to his right, and it's a 3-3 ball game. Two hits for Hazelbaker today.
A little changeup right there, floated right back down the middle, and Hazelbaker did a nice job of staying back. Tyler Moore with a good effort off his glove, and we're all tied up.
Next batter is Paul DeYoung. Well, they've been waiting all day. One of the fans up here from Jupiter making some noise. Runner goes. Pitch is low. Severino with a good gun, but that was stolen on Eric Davis. He had no chance.
Yeah, pretty good jump. Straight steal all the way, not looking in. Trying to get that go-ahead run and scoring position here in the top of the 8th. Severino with a really good throw. A lot on it, right on the money. You look at the follow-through. He's going to be a good one.
Hazelbaker having a day. A couple of hits and a steal now. That one stays up and in to Paul DeYoung. Out of Orlando, played at Illinois State. 4th round selection just last year. Hit a combined .316 at 2 levels last summer. First year as a pro. Good fastball by Eric Davis. Into center, that's trouble. St. Louis takes the lead. And the ball hits the mound and takes a crazy hop. Michael A. Taylor really threw one hard, and it hit the mound went over Severino, then deflected off Eric Davis. So we've had 2 errors in the inning, 3 hits, and a hit batter.
Michael Taylor with the strong arm keeps the ball down, but just kind of runs into some bad luck right there when the ball, I think, hits the backside of the rubber. Watch the strong throw. He does a nice job of keeping it down. Looks like it might have been a little offline, and then Eric Davis can't handle it. It goes toward the dugout. And this is not a half inning you're going to see on the scoreboard at Nats Park to music anytime during the season.
Magnarius Sierra. Oh for 2, hit by a pitch. Out of play, left side.
Jesse's got his peach. That's going to be a thing, you know that. That's 2 broadcasts in a row, and twice he's been eating a peach during the game.
Fastball sails up and away. And that breaking ball low. Did he go? Yes, he did. Inning over. Well, that inning wasn't a peach. It was more like a bite out of a rotten apple. St. Louis takes the lead.
There's a lot to see at Nissan now. It's only gonna get better.
Around the ballpark here. They got a nice little team store right behind home plate on a Sunday afternoon when the scoreboard has turned against the Nats. Don't forget about that Teddy Plush window cling. First 20,000 fans in attendance on Tuesday, April 26th. Nats Phils. Visit nationals.com. Purchase your tickets for the early part of the season. And some great giveaways ahead as well.
Expos, Giants.
Giants and Nets colors. Sandy Alcantara for St. Louis. He's from the Dominican, 3rd year as a professional pitcher. And Cardinals drafted him, actually a non-drafted free agent, back on July 2nd of 2013. So not yet 20 years of age. Starting to see players in Minor and major league camps that are born in the mid-90s.
This guy looks like he can throw a million.
6'4", 170. If he doesn't have some kind of whiplash sort of delivery, it'll be interesting. Josh Martinson will lead off for the Nats. Jason Martinson, pardon me.
That gun's been slow all day, and that was 94.
Martinson, a fifth rounder out of Texas State. 6 years in the minor leagues. He can fly. 109 stolen bases.
96.
Now the Cardinal fans were heard of when their team scored. Nats fans being heard of trying to urge their team to get back on the board. Nationals have had 5 hits since the first inning, but that's when they scored all 3 of their runs.
See, this is where it's tough for a veteran guy trying to make a ball club. When you come in late in the game and you're facing a kid with number 90 that throws 100, but you're not sure where it's going, and you're trying to show a manager and a GM and a coaching staff that you're a major league player, it's hard to make a big league team coming off the bench. That's why as a non-roster invite or bench guy, it's always nice to get those starts. But these are uncomfortable at bats. I mean, anytime you see a guy like this throwing that hard with a 90 on his back, you're just not really digging in because you don't know where it's going. It's Mike Rizzo.
Nats need runners, 3-2, and a chopper to third. And the short hop got DeYoung. And the Nationals will get their base runner. We'll see how they score it. Not an easy play.
That's a base hit. Chopper, if he makes this play, does he throw him out? Would have been a tough play. Momentum going toward the Cardinals dugout. I think they scored an error or a hit.
Yeah, they did. They did.
You're giving me thumbs up.
Yeah, thumbs up for a hit.
I know. I don't know why it's an error. Oh, dyslexic.
Here's Tyler Moore. He went off the glove of their previous third baseman, Jacob Wilson, last time up. Martinson, good base runner, as you mentioned, over 100 steals, minor leagues, and that one tails way inside 2-0. So a little command problem so far for Sandy Alcantara. And he'll get a visit from Rodriguez, his first baseman.
See, there's a big part of Tyler Moore that wants to just dig in and let loose here at 2-0, and there's another part of him that's not sure where this ball's going.
So the target's set right down the middle, which sometimes you just have to do with young pitchers, and then he misses over but low, 3-0. .97 on the so-called slow gun.
So that means it's 112?
I'd say 100. 99 at the least. That's upstairs. 2 on, nobody out.
Tyler Moore's glad that bat's over.
Well, Pedro Severino will get a shot at this now.
And if he gets the bunt sign, this is not going to be fun.
No. Yeah. Turn around and face this. Pedro came up with the Nats in September. 1 hit in 4 ABs over a couple of games. Hit .246 in 91 games at AA Harrisburg. Step off.
I mean, the situation of a normal game would call for a bunt here, maybe, but it's hard to give a team an out when you have a guy that's not throwing strikes. It always confuses me when I see a guy bunting and one ball hasn't been close in the first 2 or 3 hitters.
Well, how about a base hit to tie the game? Around third is Martinson. He'll score easily. Dusty Baker says, swing away, young man, and it's a 4-4 game.
Yeah, a lot of reasons why Dusty went with the swing away right there. You know, number one, not throwing strikes. Number two, hard to bunt a guy throwing 97 that's not throwing strikes. And number three, Pedro Severino can hit. Nice piece of hitting right there. Check out the reaction at first base. He's fired up.
Yeah, we saw a little fire from him in September. Like the way he plays the game.
But he's young enough and to dig in off a guy like this and not care where the ball's going.
Yeah.
And not really care about the difference because he's trying to show that he can play here.
Here's Trey Turner, who can fly. And no sign of squaring around there. Why not until the guy throws consecutive strikes? Danny Espinosa went 0 for 3 today. Turner in his spot now. 9th in the order. Michael A. Taylor on deck. Four ball game. The Nats about hit the Cards 12-6. Turner, right side. Can they get two? As mentioned, he can fly, and he beats it out with no problem. And that puts the lead run on third base with 1 out.
Hey, you knew by the speed of the ball they're not going to turn a double play on Trey Turner right here, and he knows it too. And actually pulled up before he got through the base that he knew he was going to make it. We'll see if Dusty Baker gives Trey Turner the green light.
Turner, by the way, really only 2 years in the minor leagues. 52 stolen bases during that time. Stole a couple for the Nats in 4 attempts last September. With more on Michael A., here's Dan K.
Bob, Michael A. Taylor might not end up in the starting lineup for the Nationals on opening day with the trade of Ben Revere, maybe leaving him as the Nats center fielder. But Dusty Baker said yesterday to reporters he's going to get Michael A. Taylor playing time. Doesn't matter whether it's in center and left and right if Bryce Harper needs a day off. If he's not a starter, he's still going to play a lot.
Right, that one got Hunter Wendelstedt.
Winged him. A little foul tip. Right off the right shoulder, collarbone area.
Yeah, the foul tips aren't any slower in spring training. Taylor struck out swinging, first time up, 6th inning. Chance to put the Nats ahead, maybe win a ball game for him right here. Turner going, no throw. He steals the bag at 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah, you could see Alcantara on the first pitch was very deliberate to the plate. And look at how long he is right there. That's going to give Trey Turner plenty of time to get to second base. Now Mike Matheny brings his infield in, and it's up to Michael Taylor to try to put the ball in play here.
And it's 0-2. Whoa, up and in, and he went after it. It'll be up to Matt Dendecker with 2 outs.
Almost seemed like Michael Taylor predetermined that he was going to win the ball game when he stepped into the batter's box. Very aggressive against a guy who hasn't been in the strike zone. And like I said, not a comfortable at bat for anybody going up against this guy. You just don't know where it's going.
Dendecker a swinging strikeout his first time up last inning. Another classic example of a young guy with a great arm. If he gets behind, he's in big trouble. If he gets ahead, you're in trouble. He's starting to throw some strikes now. Third base, Tyler Moore. And then 90 feet behind him, the great speed of Trey Turner. Ball gets away, but keeping it close, Carson Kelly.
Change up right there at 89. Heads up if you're Tyler Moore right here on third base for the wild pitch. He might try to throw a better change and bounce it.
Two balls, two strikes. Swing and a miss. 2 Ks after the Nats had a run in and second and third, one out, but they tied the game into the ninth. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the expressed written consent of the Washington Nationals. Interesting ball game, 4-4, top of the ninth coming up. The Nats will go deeper into their bullpen and bring out a veteran here, 33-year-old Nick Massett, who they signed to a free agent contract on December 15th. Guy approaching 400 big league appearances. Split time with Miami and Atlanta last year. 8 games Marlins, 20 games Braves. Carson Kelly, the catcher for St. Louis. He's 1 for 3 with an RBI double. Right center, not deep at all. Chris Heisey. Sellout today, 7,410 in a 7,200 seat ballpark.
I saw you seen a good game, 4-4, top of the ninth.
I saw Max Scherzer pitch great. A lot of offense early by the Nats. Here's the DH, David Washington, and to the right side it goes in a base hit.
Matt's a 4-pitch guy. Fastball, cutter, curveball, split for the out pitch. And the fastball last year with a couple of ball clubs that you mentioned, averaged 92 miles an hour.
Top of the order, Greg Garcia. Big curveball in there for a strike. Nets have 3, 4, 5 due up, bottom of the ninth. Heisey, Goodwin, Sizemore. Martinson even with the bag, actually on the grass a little bit on the third base side. Runner going, pitch inside, and a hard one for Severino to handle. David Washington steals the bag. Both teams doing some running here today.
You know, I was watching Jose Akendo, the third base coach for the Cardinals, and he just had his hands in his pocket the whole time. So maybe that sign came from somewhere in the Cardinals bench, or Washington just had the green light all the way. But I did not see a sign put on right there. He got a good jump, picked a good pitch, and now the go-ahead runs in scoring position.
3-1. St. Louis, 4 of their 7 hits in the last 2 innings. It's Mike Matheny and David Bell, his bench coach, right behind him. That ball's got a loud sound to it, high in the air, out to left center for Michael A. Taylor. To the gap, and no runner's going to challenge that. Great throw right to Trey Turner, 2 outs. Dean Anna, the shortstop, is next.
See, this is where in spring training you just play the game out. You know, 4-4 game, 2 outs, top of the ninth, lefty up, righty on deck. This is a regular season. We're talking matchup, strategy, who's up in the Nats bullpen. Do you want to pitch to this guy in the box, the guy on deck? But in spring training, we'll just all sit here and watch because that's the way it usually goes. There's no real strategy. You just play the game. And you get everybody with 90s numbers loose in case this goes a little bit longer.
Ball had some good run on it. 85 with sinkage as well, and it's 0-2.
Is that Bryce's brother down there, Brian Harper?
93.
Oh, it is. And that would be cool if he got in this game.
That's a swing and a miss. Severino smothers it. And then down to Tyler Moore. So St. Louis stays off the board in the top of the ninth. See if the Nats can take their 9th win.
I do everything on the internet.
head to the bottom of the 9th inning. Nats looking to walk off the Cardinals in this thriller from Space Coast Stadium. And if you missed the first inning, and maybe you were coming home from church or a brunch or whatever, you missed Max Scherzer picking up where he left off the 2015 season by striking out 3 hitters. Hit 1 batter, struck out 3 in the first. Then the Nats came out swinging the bats against Michael Wacha. Ben Revere singled to start the game up. Jason Worth with a base knock to right field. Bryce Harper, a chopper over Brandon Moss's head for a double and an RBI. Then a wild pitch that scored Jason Worth. And then Ryan Zimmerman with his spring training debut. Not shocked at all. Rolls out of bed with a base hit, scoring Bryce Harper. And the Nats score 3 in the top of the first, and Dusty Baker was fired up.
Bottom of the 9th. 22-year-old Luke Weaver, former Florida State Seminole. He's a Florida native. A couple of different levels last year. Pitching the Florida State League and the Arizona Fall League. And here's Chris Heisey to lead off for the Nationals, bottom of the 9th. His first at bat 2 innings ago, fly ball to left. Low and inside. Good rip. 4-12-2 Nats, 4-7-1 Cards. Good take by Chris Heisey on a breaking ball down and away, ball 2. Next Saturday, Dusty Baker's Nats against Terry Collins' Mets. 2 hoppers, shortstop Dean Anaheim. 1 out, bottom 9. Brian Goodwin is next. Had a base knock and a stolen base. His first time up today. He's having a pretty solid spring.
A lot of people ask me if the Mets are the team to beat the National League East, and my answer to that is the Mets are the team to beat the National League. They're the reigning National League champs. They went to the World Series. They were a few plays here or there from winning a World Series last year. So they're not only the team to beat the National League East, they're the team to beat in the whole league, in my opinion.
Yeah, they've got better pitching than the Cubs. There's no doubt about that.
They had a better middle infield, too, this year.
And they re-signed Yoenis Cespedes, who got that front-loaded contract that, according to sources, made a big, big difference. Nats finished 7 games back of the Mets last year. 2-team race in the East, it appears, unless the Marlins really jump up and surprise us. We thought they would last year, but they just didn't get it done. They had some injuries.
Yeah, solid coaching staff this year. Not that they didn't last year, but that staff they've assembled is going to make a difference in South Florida.
Don Mattingly, Barry Bonds on the same staff.
If you're hitting for the Marlins this year and you go 0 for 4, you must be thinking, my manager and my hitting coach really think I suck. I mean, there's no other way to put it, right? Donnie Baseball, as good as they get. And then obviously Barry Bonds. And Dusty Baker said, and I couldn't echo it any better than he said it, is Barry Bonds will be as good a coach as he wants to be because he sees things on the field like nobody I've ever been around.
2-2 pitch and a fly ball to right center. Center fielder Sierra will call off Bader. 2 outs, and it's up to Scott Sizemore to keep this thing going in a 4-4 game. Now, I've attended spring training games where they've called it a tie after 9. Sometimes they'll play another inning to get some pitchers some work that were maybe scheduled to be in the ball game. Kind of like a mutual agreement thing. We'll see how they play it here today.
I'm in for another inning if Bryce's brother, Brian, pitches.
Absolutely.
Just one more, though. Yeah. Not going to get carried away here.
2-1 count. Low in the zone, counts even. Ball game about 2 hours and 45 minutes old. We're told that nobody is throwing right now in either bullpen. So unless some guys are hot and ready, that may indicate this is a 9-inning affair. 3-2 pitch.
Chilling at the tiki bar and left. Chilling under the umbrellas and right.
Three-two pitch. Breaking ball. Out of play again. Oh, onto the roof.
They didn't do that car broken window
haven't heard the alarm go off.
The alarm go off. Tired noise they always do.
Yeah. The shattered windshield and the alarm.
It's good. We don't miss it.
3-2 pitch. To Hopper right side. It's tied after 9. And I see umpires walking off the field.
Time to go get a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I think. This one's over.
Some fans are leaving. Others are standing around waiting to see what's going to happen. So it appears to be a 9-inning 4-4 tie, and they've announced that that is it. So 4-12-2 Nats, 4-7-1 Cardinals, and on a rather different note, we will say goodbye to you from Vieira. Our next ball game here on Masson will be Saturday, where the Nationals host the New York Mets. This has been a presentation of Masson. For FP and Dan Coco, Bob Carpenter. Hope you enjoyed a leisurely Sunday afternoon. Everybody goes home either happy or at least satisfied. So long for just a while.
For the first time.